Continuing to preview every single conference tournament in college basketball, this time we're taking a look at the Sun Belt. Sun Belt, Fun Belt. If you're a college basketball fan excited for March Madness, hit that follow button to get the rest of my conference tournament previews, as well as the other content I'll be putting out throughout March. I apologize in advance if this crop's a little weird and you aren't able to see all the matchups, but first up we have number 12 Louisiana Monroe versus number 13 Coastal Carolina. Neither team is very good. Neither of them are playing very well right now. ULM's on a 3-game losing streak. Coastal's on a 4-game losing streak. These teams met once this year. ULM won that game by 4 or 5. I'd say they're the marginally better team. I'd definitely say they're better defensively, and they have advantages on the offensive glass. They're good at getting to the free throw line, and in a close game, those things matter, so I'll take ULM. Number 11, Texas State versus number 14, Old Dominion. These teams haven't actually played each other this season. This will be their first meeting of the year. Texas State enters this game having won 3 in a row. Old Dominion's lost 11 of their last 13, and in the middle of that free fall, their head coach retired. Shout out Jeff Jones for a great career, but Old Dominion just lost to Georgia Southern by 17. Not really in a good spot. I'm taking Texas State. Number 8, South Alabama versus number 9, Georgia Southern. Two pretty quirky teams. South Alabama's like entirely backcourt. You look at their roster, it's guard, 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 guard. As a result, they're really bad on the glass, like a very bad rebounding team. Georgia Southern lost every single non-conference game they played this year. All of their wins came in conference play. I don't know that I trust either of these teams. I think I trust Georgia Southern less. They're a really bad defensive team, give up a lot of offensive boards, let opponents get to the free throw line at a pretty high rate. So I'm going to take South Alabama. Number 5, Louisiana Lafayette versus number 12, Louisiana Monroe. These teams split the season series, but I'm going to comfortably side with Lafayette to win this game. They're a pretty solid defensive team, and I think that's enough to get them the win here. Over the last 2 months, they have the best three-point percentage defense in the country, only allowing opponents to shoot 25% from 3. So if Louisiana Monroe's down, and they're down big, they're not going to be able to shoot their way back into the game. The one place Lafayette could get into trouble is they let opponents get to the free throw line a lot. And Louisiana Monroe's already pretty good at getting to the free throw line, so if it's closer than it should be, that's probably why, but I'm taking the Ragin' Cajuns. Number 6, Southern Miss versus number 11, Texas State. These teams split their season series. Each game was within 5 points, so I think we're in for another tight contest here. Both teams are a little more defensively minded, so it's just a question of whose offense decides to show up. I'm going to pick Texas State to pull off the upset. I think they're playing a little bit better coming into the tournament than Southern Miss is. Texas State's offense is a little sketchy, but I haven't picked an upset yet, and it's the Fun Belt. So, Texas State to win. Number 7, Georgia State versus number 10, Marshall. These teams split their season series, finished a game apart in the league standings, and also just played each other. Georgia State got a 3-point home win. There's no clear matchup advantage for either side as far as I can see, and I think Marshall is due for some positive regression. The 3-point variance for them just hasn't gone in their favor a whole lot this season, so I think they're kind of due. I went to Shot Quality. They backed me up on that, so I'm going to take the Thundering Herd to get the win. Number 8, South Alabama versus number 1, App State. I actually picked South Alabama as an 8 seed to beat number 1 seed Southern Miss last year and was right about that. But like I said, I don't really trust this iteration of South Alabama. I don't really trust Georgia Southern if they're the team that comes out of the 8-9 game. And App State is legitimately good. So I'm taking App State. Number 4, Arkansas State versus number 5, Louisiana. Louisiana swept the season series, but I think this is a true coin flip game that could really go either way. I really like Arkansas State's offense, and they're playing better right now. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. Assuming they get to this point, Louisiana will have lost 4 of 6. Louisiana took the first 2. I think Arkansas State gets them back here. I think it could go either way, but give me the Red Wolves. Number 11, Texas State versus number 3, Troy. Troy's a pretty good defensive team, and I don't think that bodes well for Texas State. But Troy's kind of a goofy team. They're good at forcing turnovers, but they also turn the ball over a lot. They're good at getting offensive rebounds, but they also give up a lot of offensive rebounds. They're good at getting to the free throw line, but they also let opponents get to the free throw line a lot. Like, all the advantages that they have, they somehow squander away by allowing their opponent to have the same advantages. But I just think Texas State, any advantage they have in this game is something that Troy will give them. Troy should be in control. I'm taking Troy. Number 2, JMU versus number 10, Marshall. I just think the Dukes completely outclass Marshall in this game. These squads are headed in opposite directions. Over each team's last 10 games, JMU's 10-0. At this point, Marshall will be 2-8. Roll Dukes. Number 1, App State versus number 4, Arkansas State. I did consider an upset here. I really did. But I just don't think this Arkansas State team is one that's built to beat App State. For one, these teams just played their only meeting of the season. App State throttled them by 23. I do like the Arkansas State offense, but I think App State's defense is definitely good enough to stop them. And Arkansas State's really good at running teams off the three-point line. That's one of the things they do really well defensively, despite the fact that their defense isn't that good. But that doesn't really matter against App State, because even though they're good at shooting the three, they don't take a lot of threes. They're fine getting run off the three-point line. Those aren't the shots they want. Give me App State. Number 3, Troy versus number 2, James Madison. Like I said, I think this Troy team is kind of goofy. I think they're self-sabotaging. James Madison is really good. They're average to above average in pretty much everything. They don't have a critical weakness. I think they're going to get to play the way they want to in this game. They're going to have plenty of advantages as it is, and then Troy will probably give them some more. I'm taking the Dukes. And for the Sun Belt Championship and the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, I've got number 1 App State taking on number 2 James Madison. To me, they're clearly the 2 best teams in the Sun Belt. I would love to see both of them make the NCAA tournament, even though that's probably not going to happen. I think they're both good enough to win a game if they make March Madness. JMU's 28-3 this year. 2 of those losses came to App State. I think they're hungry to finally take down App State. They're absolutely good enough to do it. Somehow App State's just been their Achilles heel this year. I like James Madison a lot. I want to see them get to the NCAA tournament. I think this is the time that they finally beat App State. Give me the Dukes. So those are my picks. I've got James Madison taking home the Sun Belt Championship, Terrence Edwards Jr., TJ Bickerstaff, Noah Friedel. Fantastic team. I really hope they make the NCAA tournament. Let me know what your picks are. If there's anything you really disagree with, make sure you're following for more college basketball content.